I think at the time I thought like, maybe I'll go after this and like start a subcontracting company in commercial construction or something like that, so I can have a little more control and not have to work with some of the clients we had to work with.
Right.
So I got to college, started taking these like advanced level classes that I really wasn't prepared for. Totally was burnt out and was like, I don't like this, and pivoted all the way to English literature. So I graduated with an English lit degree and no idea what I wanted to do. So I ended up right out of college. I was working a sales job, and it was fine, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I was like, man, I'd love to get back into doing construction in some form, because I liked being outside. I liked being on the site. I liked those craftspeople and being around those kind of people. And so I was talking to a friend. I was living up in Arlington. I was talking to a friend of the family who was an architect, and I was just asking, like, how do you get into, should I go back to school and get a civil engineering degree? You know, I've tried interviewing with a couple places, but I don't have any resume that someone would actually want to hire. And he said, I'll set you up with a couple places to talk to. And so I talked to a couple of different guys, and one was a commercial contractor in Northern Virginia, and ended up working there for a number of years. So, you know, assistant project manager, assistant superintendent, ended up being a project manager there, and getting a lot of reps. They were doing a lot of, like, a real variety of construction, kind of like commercial construction types, a lot of site work, a lot of masonry and steel buildings, stuff like that.
A lot of ground up or any redevelopment?
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of stuff. But no housing. It was all commercial stuff. So
Right.
You know, rehabbing a school. Like, we had this phased school renovation that we did. That was the first project I was on site for. Building out rec centers, stuff like that.
Cool.
So just a variety of work, which is really cool.
And you got to be involved to some extent from the start to finish of these projects and see them through?
It was a great company to learn at. I mean, I got time doing estimating, I got time on the site, I got time in the project management chair. So I just got this like real nice broad, and they had awesome superintendents. So I got like a ton of like just basic construction education.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. And it was something like, did you find at that point, because you were kind of burnt out in college to some degree to switch your what you were studying, did you feel that burnout at that construction company at all, or was it like fueling a passion for you?
I loved it. I mean, I like work. I like hard work, and I like learning new things. That's really, I love learning, and construction is a great place to. There's just like every project's different. There's always problems to solve. So I didn't feel burnout. It was a very intense, fast-moving place to work. Right. But I was single, had plenty of time. So
I'd say for a lot of people, like, intense, fast-moving is what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Like that's a good, and if you enjoy it, if you're passionate about it, intense and fast-moving.
But I at the time I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do forever. Maybe I want to go back and get an MBA and do something else, or I didn't know. I was just still figuring it out. I liked it, a lot, and I could see. I think at the time I thought like, maybe I'll go after this and like start a subcontracting company in commercial construction or something like that, so I can have a little more control and not have to work with some of the clients we had to work with.
Right. So what'd you do after that?
I got married and was still living up there working for that company, but my wife's family, her dad and I were really close. Her dad did residential custom home building, really high-end. He mostly did like really cool subdivisions, like pocket subdivisions, and they lived out in California. So I got married, got really close to my father-in-law, and they pitched on. I was ready to make a change, and I was ready to move away from DC. And so, he was like, come out here and work with us. So he had two sons, my two brother-in-laws, who were working with him, but they didn't have a construction background. They were development guys. So he was doing development, ground-up stuff, all single-family for the most part. But they kind of needed a construction guy, and I was like, maybe naive enough to think like, working with family, if it doesn't work out, it's no big deal. So, which it worked out great, but there were plenty of people who were like, dude, this sounds like a really bad idea. I'm like, how bad could it be, So I moved out there, started working with him. He passed away about a year after, and I ended up buying into that business, and so I ran that with my two brother-in-laws, and was great. I mean, totally different skill sets. We grew that company. We totally pivoted. We still did single family custom home stuff. We had a part of the company that did that, but we pivoted into doing townhouse projects and condos and apartments and some commercial stuff, and just kind of a variety of where we saw opportunity in the market out there. And yeah, it was great. We built it. I think it was like maybe 8 people when I moved out there, and it was 50
That's
going
awesome.
into COVID. So yeah,
and that's not easy to scale something like that either.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
How,
it was a good run. I mean, we were coming out of the financial crisis. A lot of the competitors had been blown up, so
Right.
we had a good tailwind.